Today I'm going to show you how to make this really cool wooden paddle boat, which is powered by an elastic band. And we're going to make it out of these wooden popsicle or craft sticks. We'll need to cut quite a few of them to shorten them down, which we'll do with a craft knife. It may be difficult to cut all the way through, but you can score the stick a couple of times with the blade, then snap it on the score line. To make the boat, we're going to start by lining up 4 sticks like this. Then I'm cutting down some sticks to the width of the hull. And using my glue gun to fix them in place like this to hold it all together. I used 3 cross pieces in total. Next, we're going to draw on a pointed bow shape of the boat at the front and carefully cut it out with our knife. Then I'm turning it over and I'm going to build some sides. I marked this stick with a pencil and cut it to size. Then did exactly the same to another stick, so we have 1 for each side. You can see I cut the front at an angle, which will allow for a sloping front to our boat. I stuck these on with my glue gun. Then I stuck on another couple of pieces to complete the front of the boat. Glue the joins to make it nice and strong, and it should look like this. Next, I glued on a piece across the back and cut a couple more pieces to fit at the front of the boat like this. This front piece here is where we're going to attach our elastic band. So I'm going to strengthen it by sticking on some more pieces of wood like this, so the grain of the sticks is at right angles to the original one. I'm also shaping the sticks like this to give clearance for our rubber band. And I need to drill a hole through the middle of the piece I just made, which I'm doing over some thick cardboard. Then we're ready to glue it into the front of our boat, like this. And the piece behind it. And it's looking really good. I'm gluing another piece along the bottom here for strength. Then I removed the 3 pieces we stuck onto the bottom originally to minimise the drag of the boat at the bottom. I cut off the excess stick at the back and fixed on some short strengthening pieces here. Next, I used a ruler to mark 2 even points down the side of the boat, about 40 mm from the back. I stuck in some strengthening panels to the sides of the boat, then drilled in holes at the points I marked. These holes need to be big enough for a skewer to push through. I tidied up the boat and gave it a good sand with some sandpaper. And it's looking really smart. Next, we're going to make the paddles. I took 2 bottle tops, poked a hole through the centres with a screwdriver, just big enough to push a skewer through. To fit these 4 paddles I made, I'm cutting grooves in the bottle top, so it looks like this. And the paddles will slot in. I pushed the skewer back in, cut the end off, fitted the other paddles, although one of them was a bit loose, so I'll add that later. Then filled it with glue from the glue gun to hold it all together. Leave it to dry, and it'll look like this. Push it through the boat, cut the skewer to length, then do the same on the other side, making sure it spins freely and that there's enough space for the wood to swell. When it's done, it should look like this. And if you notice, I lined up the paddles on each side, so they're pretty much in sync with each other. And finally, I took a safety pin, cut off the end, and pushed it down into the centre of the skewer like this. This is going to be for winding up our band. And we need to make sure it doesn't obstruct the skewer from turning. So now we're ready to take an elastic band, thread it through the hole at the front, loop it through itself, then stretch it to the back of our boat, over the pin, and turn the paddles to wind it up. Pretty cool, huh? When we release it, the band powers the paddles, and it should push the boat through the water. So I wound it up again, and gave it a try. And off it goes. It works really well. It powers the boat at quite a tidy speed. And when the elastic band is unwound, you can just rewind it and go again. I did find, however, that the boat started to fill up with water. Which didn't stop it working, as it still floated, but it did slow it down with all the drag. So I dried it out, and tried to seal all the joints with my glue gun. I carried on using it, and it continued to work well. Although it still took on water. Maybe the sides are just a bit too low. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you want to see more, you can click on the links or take a look at my YouTube channel page. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, thanks for watching.